Well batted, guys. Michael, what's the secret? Past 200 4 times in a calendar year and almost 500 runs in a day.
There's certainly no secret. A lot of luck goes a long way, that's for sure. It's really funny. I think the one thing that Davey and I spoke about throughout the week was our intent, the way we were going to, the way I tried to play in Brisbane and the way we're going to try and play again today was exactly that. We wanted to be positive. Again, I used the words of Warnie that he told me a long time ago, that the better the bowling, the more positive you got to be. And I think we probably both took that approach today, that, we're going to see the ball and react and not worry too much about the result. If we get a good ball, we get a good ball.
David, how have you turned things around since Brisbane, I suppose, to get yourself back into that, see the ball, hit the ball?
Yeah, obviously, preparation leading to this test, credit goes out to the net bowlers because, I really bowled them, I faced them and, they bowled themselves into the ground, bowling to us. And one of those things as a cricketer, you want to try and hit as many balls as you can. And without those guys here, we sometimes you take it for granted a little bit. But, facing them guys in nets, a lot of hours in the nets, it's what I did. I just saw the ball and reacted in the nets. And obviously today it came off for me.
Michael, have you been able to absorb what you've achieved in this year? Like with 4 double hundreds, you're the first person to ever do it. And what's it like to be spoken of in the same breath as Bradman and exceed what he's done in that respect, at least?
No, I guess the only thing I've looked at is the fact that we just made 480 in a day. Now I'm trying to work out what we've got to do tomorrow to set up this game to have a crack at winning. Look, it's really nice to be making runs, and I guess the downside to this great game is when you're not, you find it really hard to find your next run. And that happens through your career, and that's happened a lot for me, I guess, through my career. And I got dropped, and I remember when I come back from getting dropped that, I said I want to make the most of the good days, and that's all I really feel I'm doing. I feel like when I'm getting in, I'm trying to cash in, because I know there'll be some tough days around the corner again.
Michael, that foot on the throat, was that a plan? It seemed like you were hitting a basketball out there.
Certainly didn't feel that way. But it's always a plan when you get on top to stay on top. When you grab momentum, you've got to hang on to it for as long as possible. And that's the hardest challenge in Test cricket. It goes up and down over a long period of time, over 5 days. When you got the momentum, you've got to run with it. And I think we certainly did that today. It's a really positive day for the batting group. But we've got a lot of work to do over the next 4 days to have a crack at winning this Test match, that's for sure.
Dave, I suppose with Flanders' injury first of all, but then when Callis left the field, did you guys see that they were vulnerable and you really wanted to go for it then?
Well, we still know they had 3-strike bowlers as well, so you just got to, as we say, just got to see the ball react and respect those guys. Morne bowled a very fast spell this morning. I felt the 3 bounces he bowled me in that 1 over was I was a bit scared at one stage, but then I knew that if I kept on swinging as hard as I could and put the pressure back on him, I was going to take it off myself. So and that's what I did. I saw the ball and reacted, and it felt good.
Michael, have you been particularly pleased that in both Brisbane and here you were 3 down for not many? There's been really kind of a fearless counter-attack happen where you put the pressure back onto the South Africans almost. Even when the scoreboard still says that they're in a good position, the momentum has been able to be taken back.
Yeah, I've tried to, that's for sure. I think that's, through my career, that's probably the only way I've had success. When you look at the innings I've made big scores, it's exactly that. It's the counter-attack, it's the being positive, it's the playing my natural game. And there's risk there. As Graham and AB reminded me a few times today, I had a lot of arse. There's no doubt about that, but you need it in this game. I remember playing England through the Australian summer a couple of years ago, and I couldn't make a run. So, when you're scoring runs, you want to cash in, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Dave, did you feel like you're breaking them mentally out there?
Breaking them mentally?
Yeah.
As obviously my game is to go out there and try and score, and I think from the gabba, obviously I got a good ball and I was caught in the crease, and obviously that was my dismissal today as well, which I was disappointed at. But I knew if I could take it to them and put the pressure back on them, see how they reacted. And fortunate enough, they for a session there they bowled probably too short, and I got away with a couple obviously swinging the bat a little bit.
Michael, you talked about looking ahead and winning this game. How good's the pitch and how well will you have to bowl?
Yeah, it's a very good wicket. I agree with Davey, though. I think they bowled very short throughout this innings. I think we have to be very disciplined with our line of length on this wicket and make sure we execute our plans. But they've got a very strong batting lineup in pretty good batting conditions. So, like I say, there's a long way to go in this game before anybody wins. But certainly for us, we need to just be really focused on tomorrow morning and continuing this momentum, I guess, and make as many runs as we can in this first innings.
Michael, it seemed particularly special that Kylie was there, that you were given the exaggerated bat and helmet. And
How do you know if that was to Kylie or to the team? She was sitting right next to the team.
Mate, I'm guessing that was for a girl, not a boy.
Look, it's always special that that she's. Well, I know she's supporting me. You know, that's the type of woman she is. She's getting into her cricket, and it's great that she can be here in Adelaide. You know, it's special for everybody that has thrown their support behind me, and the people that are close to you have been there through good days and bad days, whether that's on the field with cricket or off the field with my personal life and things that have happened through my life, especially with my family. So yeah, I think when you perform well, my dedication is certainly to my teammates first and foremost, but also the people that have stood beside me through good and bad days.
So is Kylie, how often has she been there when you've made those really big scores? Did you see any of the others?
Her. Look, she hasn't missed too many games, put it that way.
David, during the week, you're struggling in the nets. Was that starting to play on your mind?
What was that, sorry?
You appear to be struggling in the nets during the week. Was it starting to play on your mind? Were you starting to doubt yourself? Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was struggling in the nets. It's probably the best I've actually hit them this summer in the nets, actually. As I said before, my preparation was fantastic. I can probably remember how many times I got dismissed. I think I got dismissed twice. But no, obviously, my preparation was fantastic. I don't know if you thought I was struggling, but I felt very good.
I've got to go back and rewrite my story.
Michael, is Mike Hussey getting a bit annoyed with you that he keeps making centuries, but you keep stealing all his thunder and he gets no attention?
Look, I do believe there's been a few occasions where Huss's hundreds have been swept under the carpet.
300 last year.
As such, yeah. But look, I think his form is unbelievable. I think the way he's playing as well, you know, he's walking in at number 6 and playing with great intent. And I think today he continued to grab hold of that momentum once Davey got out. So I think a lot of credit, there's obviously a lot of respect for how good a player he is, but a lot of credit needs to go to Huss and Davey as well. You know, the way they played up the other end today made my life and my job a lot easier. If I didn't score, there was no stress. And that makes, I think, you know, that gets forgotten a lot of the time, how important your partner is when you have success.
Michael, you've obviously had 2 fantastic batting performances as a team in Brisbane and here, but there's that concern of 3 wickets going down fairly early in the innings. What are the concerns for you?
I'm sure the top 3 would have liked, Ed Cowan made 100 in the first test. I'm sure Rob and Ricky would have liked a few more runs today. It's the game though, isn't it? You know, some people miss out and then the guy that gets in, you try and make the most of it. You know, come second innings or come Perth, it might be the complete opposite. It might be the top 3. Number 5, 6, 7 mightn't even get a bat. Who knows? It's just the way the game goes. Sometimes it's, no matter who you play, the hardest part about batting is starting your innings. You know, those first 20 balls. And when guys are getting out for low scores in those first 20 balls, you have to accept that it's the hardest time to bat. It's when you get in that you get really disappointed when you get out. When you get out for 40 or 60, because you've had a look at the opposition, you've seen the conditions of the wicket, that they're the times you've got to make the most of. So, look, I got no qualms with anybody missing out at the start of their innings because you're facing a very good attack and it's the hardest time to bat.